In today's program, Thai health officials now say that the reopening plan can only go ahead in provinces where 70% of the population has been vaccinated, which pretty much erases all hopes of an October 1st reopening. Meanwhile, a security firm has discovered that personal information of 106 million visitors to Thailand has been left online without any password protection, possibly for the last decade. And esports like League of Legends and Call of Duty are now considered professional sports in Thailand. Details on these stories coming right up. You're watching Thailand News Today, bringing you the latest news and updates in Thailand. In our first story, despite provinces pushing hard to reopen on October the 1st, several or all of the 5 provinces scheduled to reopen may be delayed until November the 1st. The Tourism Authority of Thailand pointed out that the reopening plan can only go ahead in provinces where 70% of the population has been vaccinated. The TAT recently held a meeting with the Public Health Ministry in a working group to assess the situation surrounding reopening. The group had concerns over the vaccination levels in the provinces, as well as the COVID-19 situation throughout Thailand, with daily infections still over 10,000. Tourism officials pushed for October the 1st to be the reopening date for Chiang Mai, Chonburi, Phetchaburi, Prachuap Khiri Khan, and Bangkok. However, the Center for COVID-19 Situation Administration says no plans have been approved or even thoroughly evaluated. Bangkok's mayor already insisted they will not be reopening until infection and hospitalization numbers decrease and vaccination numbers increase. Now, only 30% of the province's 60,000 hotel rooms are open for business, while the others are waiting for the program to restart. Chiang Mai, on the other hand, has been cautious about reopening as the winter months are traditionally much more popular with domestic tourists than international ones. They have focused on the domestic market as the third phase of the We Travel Together hotel subsidizing program is set to continue in October. Despite Chonburi having the 4th highest COVID-19 infection rate in the country, the mayor of Pattaya City said that they are ready and on schedule to reopen international tourism on October the 1st. While there has been a lot of doubt over partial or full reopening next month for Thailand, the mayor assured that the Pattaya Move On Sandbox program was on track to launch in just 10 days. The Pattaya City mayor says the city is completely ready for foreign visitors to safely return following the now standard sandbox procedures similar to Phuket. All international arrivals must be fully vaccinated and will be tested for COVID-19 throughout their stay. Sealed routes will allow travel and exploration. The mayor added that 70% of people in Pattaya are already fully vaccinated and vowed that all enhanced public health measures will be followed fully. The personal information of 106 million visitors to Thailand has been open online for 10 years. The cybersecurity firm Comparitech discovered the database containing the international visitor information. They say the data has been unprotected online without any password protection, possibly for the last decade. The unprotected data included people's full names, passport numbers, gender, residency status, date that they arrived in Thailand, type of visa, and their arrival card number. While news just broke of the leak, the cybersecurity firm discovered it on August the 22nd and contacted Thai officials who secured the unprotected data the next day. The leader of the security tech firm said that information may have been compromised for anyone who has traveled to Thailand over the last 10 years, adding that he even found himself in the database. The unprotected data was uncovered by the search engine Census, indexing the site on August the 20th. Perhaps in an attempt to stop any abuse of the unprotected data, the IP address is still active, but the information is replaced with a message saying, "This is a honeypot, all access were logged." A honeypot, in cybersecurity terms, is a trap to find those that exploit a compromised website in order to catch them. Officials in Thailand claim that no unauthorized party accessed the vulnerable data, despite it being found by an outside security company. It's unconfirmed how long the data was left online unprotected. Authorities were quick to confirm that there is no direct risk, as no financial information or contact information was available in the database, so malicious actors could not steal money. An investigation is to take place into a former Deputy Attorney General involved in the 2012 hit-and-run case against the Red Bull heir Warayut Yuwitaya, also known as Boss. Former Deputy Attorney General Ned Natsuk will be investigated over his decision to drop the charges against the Red Bull heir, who is accused of killing a Bangkok police officer in the hit-and-run incident. The Bangkok Post reports that the investigation was ordered following yesterday's meeting of the Public Prosecutor Commission. An earlier inquiry, under another chairperson, had ruled that Ned had not committed any offense. That ruling, however, was not endorsed at a recent commission meeting on September the 10th. At yesterday's meeting, 9 out of 13 members found Ned had acted inappropriately and exercised poor judgment in deciding to drop the charges against Warayut. A team is now being put together to investigate the former Deputy Attorney General. The panel will have up to 60 days to conclude the investigation, but an extension can be filed up to 3 times. If Ned is found guilty of serious disciplinary breaches, he could face dismissal. However, the former Deputy Attorney General will have the right to appeal the decision against him by petitioning the Administrative Court. A new disease control law is likely to replace the current emergency decree from the end of the month. The Thai cabinet approved a draft amendment to the 2015 Communicable Disease Act. The emergency decree was enacted at the start of the pandemic in March of 2020 and has been extended several times. It grants the government sweeping powers to control the spread of the virus through the Center of COVID-19 Situation Administration. The decree is due to expire at the end of the month, and that also means an end to the COVID-19 task force. However, according to a Bangkok Post report, Deputy Prime Minister Wisanu Krungam says the CCSA may continue to exist, but under a different guise once the new law is in place. Same but different. He says a body even larger than the CCSA might be established. A government spokesperson says no decision has yet to be taken on whether or not to extend the emergency decree past September the 30th. She adds that it's unlikely the newly amended Disease Act will be enforced by that date, as it still needs to be approved by Parliament. The Bangkok Post reports that the spokesperson has also defended the new amendment, dismissing fears it could provide policymakers with an amnesty. She insists the amendment is aimed at improving disease control measures and actions aimed at preventing a new COVID-19 outbreak. Thailand's Food and Drug Administration has denied Sinopharm's request to administer COVID vaccinations to children over 3 years old. The FDA cited a lack of data on the safety and efficacy of the vaccine. Tech, a distributor of Sinopharm, filed a request to widen the age group for inoculation in Thailand to include children as young as 3 years old. The Deputy Secretary General of the FDA says that a committee and experts across many agencies then discussed the safety and effectiveness of the Sinopharm vaccine and then rejected the request due to insufficient data related to the drug's safety, as well as questions of its effectiveness in the 3 to 17-year-old group. The FDA has notified Tech of the rejection and has asked the company to send more information pertaining to the safety and efficacy of the emergency use in children in countries like China. For older children, a government spokesperson says that Pfizer vaccinations for children between the ages of 12 and 17 are still voluntary and ultimately the parent's decision. She adds that students will not be forced to get vaccinated before going back to school, and that parents will be given more information to make an informed decision prior to giving their vaccination consent. A bit of good news for the gamers out there: video game competitions, also known as esports, are now considered professional sports in Thailand. The Thai Professional Sports Committee agreed to recognize the video game-based sports in an official announcement in the Royal Gazette. See, Mom, my childhood was not wasted after all. Esports involve video game competitions against individual players or teams. Some popular games include League of Legends and Call of Duty. According to Pattaya News, now that esports has been recognized as a professional sport in Thailand, they will have the opportunity to get assistance and support in different fields from the Professional Sports Committee. They will also receive help from the Professional Sports Promotion Fund of the Sports Authority of Thailand. Officials will offer assistance to esports athletes through athletic development, honors, and promoting the athletes into becoming professionals both domestically and abroad. Time to brush up on my Unreal Tournament skills. And that's all for the news today, but check out the videos that just popped up to continue watching content from the Thaiger channel. Thailand News Today will be back tomorrow with more headlines. Meanwhile, you're now up to date on the Thaiger.